In the icy expanse of the Arctic, where the sun barely pierces the perpetual twilight, a polar bear roams, a majestic creature of the frozen wilderness. But this bear is not just a symbol of strength and survival. It carries a haunting secret, a grotesque reminder of nature's darker side. As we follow its lumbering gait across the snow, we notice something amiss, a horrific barnacle wound festering on its side, a gruesome sight that evokes both sympathy and revulsion. This is not merely a wound. It is a battleground, a grotesque colony of barnacles that have claimed this bear as their host, turning its once pristine fur into a grotesque tapestry of life and decay. Barnacles, those seemingly innocuous crustaceans, are often associated with the calm of the ocean, clinging to rocks and boats. But here, on the body of a polar bear, they reveal their sinister side. These tiny creatures, with their hard shells and sticky appendages, have found a new home in the most unlikely of places. As the bear swims through the frigid waters, these barnacles latch onto its skin, burrowing in and creating a grotesque wound that festers and oozes. The bear, a creature built for survival, now bears the weight of this infestation, a living testament to the harsh realities of life in the wild. The barnacle infestation is not just a physical ailment. It is a complex interaction between species, a dark dance of survival that highlights the fragility of life in the Arctic. As the barnacles grow, they feed on the bear's nutrients, siphoning off energy that the bear desperately needs to hunt and thrive in its harsh environment. The wound becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, a festering sore that can lead to infection, pain, and ultimately a slow decline. The bear, once a powerful predator, is now a victim of its own ecosystem, a stark reminder of the delicate balance that exists in nature. But how did this bear come to suffer such a fate? The answer lies in the changing climate. In the vast, frozen expanse where the endless white of the Arctic meets the icy water, a creature of immense power and resilience prowls the polar bear. Yet amid this savage beauty, a grotesque malady festers. Picture a great polar bear, its once pristine white fur marred by a dark, horrifying lesion. This is no ordinary wound. It is a barnacle infestation so severe it looks like a nightmarish crustacean quilt, a living armor of parasites clinging to flesh and bone. The sight is both captivating and repulsive, a testament to the brutal intersection of life and decay in nature's harshest playground. Barnacles are commonly known as the squat, shell-encrusted drifters often found clinging to rocks, ship hulls, or the bellies of whales. But on a polar bear, here, the story darkens. The infestation begins innocently enough. Microscopic barnacle larvae adrift in frigid waters, seeking a surface on which to latch. For most creatures, this means a hard, submerged substrate. For the polar bear, it involves an uninvited attachment to the skin beneath layers of fur, often exploiting open wounds or weakened tissue as an entry point. This initial contact escalates as the barnacles grow, their rough, jagged shells digging deeper into soft tissues, triggering painful inflammation and infection. The wound expands in size and severity, a festering sore radiating a silent scream of suffering. The barnacle's presence on a polar bear is a stark irony of nature's ruthless opportunism. These tiny crustaceans thrive in salty, marine environments, yet the polar bear's lifestyle is predominantly terrestrial and icy, with minimal submersion in seawater. However, polar bears do swim for long stretches, hunting seals, and moving between ice floes, making them vulnerable. The dull afternoon light flickers over a horse standing motionless under the weight of an unseen torment, its coat riddled with a grotesque mass, a hive pulsating with buzzing life, a horrid banquet and battleground squirming with countless bees. This is no ordinary wound, but a living refuge, a grim testament to nature's relentless cruelty and the fragile balance between host and invader. At first glance, the sight evokes a primal horror of swollen flesh sculpted into a honeycomb nightmare, oozing with secretions that glisten beneath the mottled surface. Flies swirl like a malevolent cloud, drawn by the sweet scent of decay and the promise of devastation. The thick air trembles with the ceaseless hum of these winged parasites, each tiny body driven by instinct to fortify their sticky fortress, oblivious to the agony etched deep into the horse's flesh beneath. Bee infestation on this majestic creature unfolds as a dark symbiosis, a biological horror story sculpted in wax, venom, and desperation. The initial sting of a single bee is a localized wound, but here, The host's open tissue offers a fertile ground, soft, moist, and warm, for a fatal swarm to claim dominion. The bees construct their comb directly in the lesion, the waxy cells pressed against raw tissue, drawing nutrients from the horse's blood and lymph. The hive's architecture in the icy waters of the Arctic, a haunting sight emerges, a beluga whale, its once smooth skin marred by a grotesque barnacle wound. This is not just a simple blemish. It is a chilling testament to the relentless grip of nature's most tenacious hitchhikers. As the camera zooms in, the viewer is confronted with a shocking reality: the beluga's flesh is pockmarked and inflamed, a gruesome landscape of white and red where barnacles have taken hold. These small crustaceans, often mistaken for mere sea debris, are voracious parasites that latch onto the skin of unsuspecting marine mammals, causing pain and suffering that is both physical and psychological. Barnacles, with their hard calcareous shells, are not just passive residents of the ocean. They are opportunistic invaders. They attach themselves to the beluga's body, feeding on its skin and blubber, creating open wounds that can become infected. The beluga, a creature known for its intelligence and social nature, now bears the burden of this infestation, struggling to swim and communicate as it battles the discomfort and potential danger of these relentless invaders. The barnacle's life cycle is a marvel of nature, but in this case, it is a dark twist of fate for the beluga. Each barnacle is a